Welcome to This Week in History, hosted by the Clinton Public Library. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified for future videos.
You hear it all the time. So-and-so posts about what they are doing, putting their whole life on social media. Talking about themselves, putting their job, their relationship troubles, and even what they and their friends are doing all over social media. And we're wondering what that looked like before the time of MySpace, Facebook, and even TikTok now. Well, this comic might not actually be too far from the truth. On this week's episode of This Week in History, we take a look at the Twitter of the time, the social column. Miss Bertha Overpeck accompanied Mr. and Mrs. Tom Murdy of Rockville to an American Furniture Mart in Chicago on Monday. She reports radical changes and colors in furnishings. Miss Lena Carmack has returned home from Hawaii and toured other islands in company with her son Beatram and Mrs. Carmack of Indianapolis. They flew both ways, thus giving them more time to enjoy the islands. One of the most thrilling events of the trip was flying over the island of Hawaii and seeing the volcano Kilauea erupt. This could be seen for 26 miles. Other places visited was the Fern Grotto, pineapple and sugarcane plantations, Pearl Harbor, and of course the grave of Ernie Pyle and a luau. A cruise and dinner at sunset at Catamaran were also enjoyed. New Year's Eve, they had dinner at the famous Royal Hawaiian Hotel. The temperature hovered around 85 during the entire stay, so was ideal. En route home, they spent a day and night sightseeing in San Francisco. Word has also been received that Mrs. Rourke, a former Dana resident, now living in Greencastle, that she has become ill with a sore throat on October 11th and has been sick since, and was in the hospital twice. After returning home, she had a lady care for her for 2 weeks. She is staying alone now, but is far from well and is still on medication. The doctors diagnosed it as walking pneumonia. She received many Christmas cards and letters, but was unable to send any in return. She gave some interesting information also about 2 other Dana residents. The Daughtry family lived here while he worked as a construction worker at the Newport plant. They are now living in Arco, Idaho. They had 3 boys when they lived in Dana named Gail, Elza, and Lloyd. Soon after leaving Dana, another son, Rodney, was born. He is in 8th grade now. This past year, they had a 16-year-old foster daughter added to the family. The Riley family are still at Scotia, New York. Chuck is retired and his main hobby is his rose garden. The older daughter, Jenna, and husband have 3 children. The younger girl, Judy, works at the GE Research and Development Center and lives at home. Mrs. Riley writes they would love to come to Dana to visit all of her friends. Mrs. Rourke would be glad to hear from her friends while she is convalescing. This article continues on to another page detailing more of the social events of residents of Dana, current and otherwise. Showing the age of sharing more information than you want to hear didn't start with the invention of social media, but was being done far before that, in the time of the social column.